intro this thing?
Yeah, so let's intro this thing. This episode is in reference to what we're introing now. This is the 3 days of panic. This is the, every racer knows this, before every race you've got to build the car in the last 3 days.
We read that in Adrian Newey's book.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had basically a million things to finish off. Gearbox wasn't in the car still hadn't idled, still hadn't had any water through it, there's no cooling. Bunch of vacuum leaks, still hadn't got an exhaust. Fuel filler still wasn't done. Bunch of wiring stuff. And then on top of all of that stuff, just all the normal things, bleeding the brakes, bloody this and that, tightening stuff.
Collecting your out-of-state drivers from the airport.
Yeah, our fly-ins.
Getting the recommended 3.5 hours sleep. Full credit to the boys, taking it 1 week at a time.
Is that a good strategy when your races are months apart?
Taking 1 week at a time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Somehow this happens every time.
it's a bold strategy. We'll see if it pays off.
We start working on the car 2 months before, a couple days a week or whatever, and then a couple weeks before we'll do every day, and then it always ends up being right to the last minute. And I don't know how we time it like that every time.
And by always, we mean twice.
If we had half an hour more work to do,
The car wouldn't have made it to the track.
We were all pretty mediocre university students at some point or another, and we really took the learnings from that and applied them successfully to our racing careers, which, full credit to us for that.
yeah, diamonds are made under pressure.
Yeah.
And like gas leaks and stuff, but. Enjoy the video. Right.
Enjoy the video.
Enjoy.
Or don't.
We didn't,
Enjoy the video.
or don't.
We didn't.
I think we'll use the first tank.
Enjoy the video.
Or don't.
We didn't.
I don't want to set the world on fire. There's no fuel.
Yeah.
How... Probably turn that off, I reckon.
What happened then?
Well, the injectors aren't held in by anything, so it fell out. The injector just got pushed out by the huge wave of petrol.
Well, that's good. I went, got insulin, got all the stuff I needed, put it on the table as I ate some Anzac biscuits, walked out of the house without it.
Oh, great. So no insulin here.
No insulin in, my pump or anything. So
what does that actually mean for, can you have dinner?
I can have a 0 carb dinner. What are we having for dinner?
Probably something with carbs. I don't know if you've eaten here before, but we're not very paleo.
Definitely, it's doing this.
I think our injectors are full of junk, maybe.
But are they clicking? As you can see, the engine's turning over quite nicely. It sounds like it's got compression. The valve timing, that's all good. It just seems like we're not getting fuel in, which is weird because we got fuel pressure, all that stuff. We tested the injectors to see they were all clicking when it was turning over, which is a good sign that opening.
One of the ideas we had was that since the motor had spent quite a lot of time upside down, there's a pretty good chance that the injectors are just full of junk. So we just put 12 volt to the back of the injector and opened and closed them manually and held them open for a bit with fuel flowing through because we thought that might clear out some of the junk that's stuck in them.
Yeah, so we did that with cylinder 1, and then for fun we just tried turning it over again, and it tried to run more than it had ever tried to run without us spraying a whole can of starter fluid in the intake. Wait, I don't understand, just before we go, because
Put it in.
Because we put fuel.
Get excited. Get excited, Kit.
If we filled one of the.
Get excited, Kit.
Well, fucking plug it in then.
What do you think I'm fucking doing?
Give it some throttle this time or something.
No, just it wanted to fucking run.
But I want to know why first.
I don't care why first. Where's the ratchet?
wants to go. Per little kitten. Per big free. The AFM flap's opening.
Good. Oh wait, the plug came off. That's probably why it's ran for a bit and then stopped.
Oh, when did that fall off?
I don't know, probably with all the shaking. Alright, go. I don't have enough hands. Hold on, you hold the camera. Yep.
Why did it do that? Why did it give us fucking hope? Well, that ran pretty semi.
I'm confident it's still a fueling issue.
Have we just cleared out the injectors by giving?
I think
should we give all of them 12 volts?
That's what I was just thinking.
Yes, let's do that.
We're just going to do both sides again?
Just gonna touch everything. That was very exciting.
Like, it was actually running under
that ran like an engine. That
Oh.
ran like an engine that's just not
not
getting
quite
like,
right. Yeah, well, that could be
vacuum.
vacuum leaks and stuff.
Well, also that like
Swap.
you can hear it changing.
That didn't get you.
But now I can't see.
We did a lightsaber fight. That's a good click. That's a good click right there. All right.
And now we're just flooding the out of the engine.
That's all right.
What were you playing with the flap?
Not that time. I can though. Do you want me to?
I think because it's probably still not
Running lean. I think it's still running lean. Go.
My penis is so hard right now.
It ran.
Oh, it revved! Yes. Oh! Oh! Fuck you, Gavin.
Load her up on the trailer. Calder, here we come.
We had to replace the brake booster vacuum line barb with a brass barb from any good auto parts retailer because the 3D printed one-piece design wasn't not quite strong enough.
Snapped off immediately.
Yeah, we looked at it wrong and it fell off, but the barb should be a lot stronger and it doesn't seem to cause massive vacuum leaks, which is also a plus.
So we were running the Camry gauge cluster in the Corona because the Corona gauge cluster doesn't have a tacho and none of us knew how to adapt a wiring loom to a different gauge cluster.
Luckily, the speedo is just a cable from the transmission though, and it actually just perfectly went in the Camry one.
Happened to be the same cable.
Yeah.
The Camry gauge cluster is very slightly larger than the Corona gauge cluster, but overall it sort of fits in the same spot. So I just had to trim some little pieces off the gauge cluster itself and a little bit off the bezel from the Corona dash. And then I had to sit upside down in the car for a bit and plug everything in, but it actually was not that hard to install.
And the fuel gauge is meant to sort of work as well because it's Camry dash with the Camry fuel tank, so hopefully that works as well.
All the things we were putting on the car were meant to sort of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was our general plan.
Yeah.
To have the things that we put on the car
We
work.
started off wanting things to work.
Yeah. sometimes you have to adjust your goals.
I can't see now.
What?
My eyes. Stop. Ow.
We're not supposed to get hats in it.
Alright, here we are. 2 days before the Piston Cup. And who would have known? Well, I would have known. It's just me here, finishing the car by myself. Typical. Doing the big jobs, you know, changing the air filter. Stuff that, you know, it's just so important to the success of the whole team. One step closer for Corona, one giant semi-step for the Corona. Alright, seeing as there's not much else I can do, going to just have to bench the gearbox in myself. Because I'm all by myself and no one ever helps with anything. I have to do everything. So, gonna see what I can do by myself. Nice surprise for the boys when they get here. Either that or I'll be squished under a gearbox covered in gear oil. We hadn't actually test fit the gearbox on because it's like the same block, so why wouldn't it work? So Gavin and I spent quite a long time trying to get it to fit, and you know gearbox is always just a pain in the ass when you're trying to do it under the car. It's just like the splines never line up, all that sort of stuff. So we were basically thinking it was normal gearbox problems for hours, and then basically we figured out that the engine couldn't rock back far enough for the gearbox not to be smacking the bottom of the car because it was hitting our firewall extension. We were under a bit of pressure. We tried a few different methods to bend and make some extra room in the firewall. Ended up having to just cut some of it out, and then Cam wasn't working the day that we had to leave, so we said, well, can you just patch up the firewall for us as well? So eventually got the gearbox on and it fit, but we'd mangled our really nicely fabricated firewall. This is a really gross one that's been sitting outside, so it looks like absolute shit, but the threads are good.
Can you just quickly talk through that whole process, please?
Basically, I was right, and we took this ugly outside one of these bad boys off the shitty 4-speed we bought and threaded it in, because the threads on our one were cooked, but we thought it was in the transmission and the collar, but it was just the collar. So
Can you do some test gear smashes?
But maybe let's not pull up on it more than we need to. But it was also just all normal race prep stuff.
Yeah, because we hadn't packed anything.
So, yes.
No, well, it was fluid, it was bleeding all the
Yeah.
brakes, because the brakes...
So, whole cooling system, whole brake system.
Built a full custom filler neck because we decided to not do it sticking out of the bumper.
Yeah.
We did the whole cooling system.
I don't think any of the wiring was tidied at this point. I don't think there's wheels on the car. I think it's been on jack stands for probably a month by now.
Completely dry, we had to, because of the new brakes,
Yeah.
did everything, bled everything.
We're leaving in as many hours it takes to get the car back together. Race is in tomorrow morning at this point.
I finished off the exhaust, patched up the bits of the dog bowl that Kit and Gavin hacked apart. So
No time to mentally prepare. We weren't very zen. None of us had a chance to go see Cam's mindfulness coach.
you can see that the feng shui of the shed has suffered somewhat.
We still haven't run it with water in it yet.
What do they look like?
Well, Gab lost them somehow.
I didn't fucking lose it. Cam was the one that put it in. Sorry, I was defending myself.
We haven't packed anything.
No packing.
List done.
How many hours till this thing has to be going faster than it's ever gone in its life? We're getting better. We're getting better every video.
We're telling you guys that. We are better. We would like your viewing, liking, and subscribing habits to reflect that, please.
We're holding up our end.
Yeah.
So,
Can you fucking stop?
because you don't fidget.
Like, people care about that, right?
I think it would be less funny if they did it. That's what Gab's trying to say.
He's so picky.
Such a...
Sometimes in the motorsport biz, you just got to put up with the divas.
What a diva. What a prick. Imagine having to work with this guy who doesn't love everything I come up with immediately. That's you. I didn't think you guys could negative feedback. Understand my point though, right?
About which bit?